Hello again. My name is John DeBerry and I am the course manager for COM 181 Basic Public Speaking here at Gateway Community and Technical College. The purpose of this video is to fill you in on the technology requirements for successfully completing and participating in this course. As it is an online course, first and foremost, you probably need to have access to a computer that has an internet connection. Kind of hard to do anything if you don't have that. But outside of that, there's a few other things you need to be aware of. First off, any type of writing assignment that you submit needs to be completed on Microsoft Word, on that particular program. Now, as a student of not only Gateway, but any KCTCS institution, you can download a free copy of Microsoft Office through your individual school websites. It's the online version of those programs. That includes not only Microsoft Word, but also Excel and a few others. If you're unsure how to do that, please contact the IT help desk at your local college. We ask that you complete all assignments in Microsoft Word simply because, as a system, KCTCS is a Microsoft school system, which means that is the program that all of us faculty have on our computers. So if you happen to use Apple's program Pages or WordPerfect or Works, some other type of word processing program, it is exceptionally highly likely that your instructor will not have access to that program unless they've purchased it themselves for their own personal use. And as such, we won't be able to open it or see it. So please complete your stuff on Microsoft Word and submit it with the DOC extension. Now, if for some reason you don't or cannot get a hold of Microsoft Word, you can save documents sometimes in other word processing programs as a rich text format, an .rtf extension. Please save your files and submit them in that .rtf format. It's not as good as Microsoft Word, but it will work in a pinch. So please be sure you do that. Some other things that you will need to be sure that you have involve how you will be submitting your speeches. As this is an online class and we don't physically meet in person, you will need to record yourself giving your speech and then submit that video to your instructor. Now, how are we going to go about doing that? Well, so first off, you're going to need some way to record yourself. Now, there are several options for how you can do this. You could use a webcam in a computer like I'm using to create this video. If you have an actual physical camera that has a video function, that can work fine as well. Several students who have a smartphone, whether it's a Samsung, a Windows, or even an iPhone, most of those phones come with the ability to record yourself with them, and those work fine as well. So you will need some way to record yourself speaking. You will also need to create a YouTube account if you don't already have one. Now, if you already have one, you can use the same account that you've been using. If you don't, they're very easy to create online. It's not hard at all. Now, why do you need a YouTube account? Well, that goes with how you will wind up recording and submitting your speeches. When you give a speech, here's what you should do. The camera shot should open on you, and then in one continuous shot with no cuts, the camera should pan from you to your audience, because for each speech you need to have an audience of a minimum of 5 people. And please note that infants and babies don't count. They need to be actual, grown people. Although children, if they're in their teens, are okay. So you need a minimum of 5 people. So in one shot, it opens on you, you pan to your audience so your instructor can verify they're there, and then it pans back to you. Once the camera has come back to you, you can then begin giving your speech. So you go through, you give the speech with the camera recording you. Once you are completed, again, in one video with no editing cuts, the camera then needs to pan back to your audience to prove to your instructor that the audience is still there. They didn't run out of the room as soon as you started talking. And then you can pan back to yourself and the video will stop. Now, some quick notes about the video you want to be sure of. First, make sure whatever you're recording yourself with is close enough that it can clearly pick up what you're saying. We've had students in the past record themselves, and while the video's been fine, it's been so far away that it becomes very difficult to hear them. You also want to try to be sure you record yourself in an environment with not a lot, if any, background noise. Things like machinery or other people talking, as it can become very easy for that background noise to drown out your voice. You also want to be sure that you are recording yourself in a place where we can see you clearly. For example, you wouldn't want to give your speech in front of a window with the sun behind it because we actually couldn't see you. All we would see is a dark silhouette. And when you do record yourself, because for the speeches we'll be looking at things like delivery mechanics, which deal with gesture and posture, you want to be sure that minimally you are visible in the video from the knees up so that we can see your posture and so on and so forth. So let me check my notes. Okay, so after you've recorded yourself, met all those requirements, the next thing you need to do is then go online, log into your YouTube account, and you want to upload that video to YouTube. Now, when you upload it, you want to be sure you list it as public. The other options aren't going to work. One's private, and if something is listed as private, you are the only one that can view it. There's also an option for unlisted. Now, technically, if a video is unlisted, that means that the only way you should be able to view it is if you are emailed or directly given the link. But I have had several students in the past do this, and it always runs into problems. So you want to list it as public. Now, after you've listed the video and it's been uploaded to YouTube, you want to copy the link. There'll be an option where you can click share, and it'll bring up the link to your video on YouTube. You want to copy that link, and then you will go into the class Blackboard page, and in the appropriate spot, you will paste that link into the submission window and hit submit. That's also the same place where if there's any documents that need to go along with your video, you would attach those just like you would an email attachment. Okay, so you want to upload it to YouTube, copy the link, and then you will submit the link along with any necessary documents attached through the Blackboard site. Now, since it will technically be listed as public, that does mean that anybody could find your video if they want to really go out and search. And you need to leave that video up on YouTube until your grade is posted. However, once the grade is posted, you're free to go in, take it down, delete it, do whatever you want. So, quick recap of the technology requirements. You'll need to have a computer with access to the internet. You need to have, preferably, the Microsoft Word processing program. Rich text format can work, but Microsoft Word, the .doc program, works better. You'll also need to have a way to record yourself that captures not only audio and video, and you will need to have a YouTube account so that you can then upload your videos and then get the links to submit the link to your video on YouTube. I hope that answers any questions you may have about the technology requirements for this course. And as always, if you have any specific questions, please contact your individual instructors. Thank you.